All right, good to have you back. What we're doing is we're taking an in-depth look at one of the classic, standard, iconic modal tunes of all time, called "So What" by Miles Davis. So let's take a look at the melodic structure of this tune. It's really revealing and lovely and elegant. But before we do that, I'd like to say that don't get trapped into a place where you're thinking of modes as just being the same as a major scale, only starting in different places. That's a bit like saying, an apple is the same as an orange, they're both round. It doesn't work that way. Modes don't work that way. You get a relationship with each mode, and you discover each mode for the colors that are in that mode. Uh, so yeah, that said, let's dig into the D Dorian mode. So the line, the classic line is simple, right? That's it. And you've got these two minor 11 chords. Now let's take a look at what a Dorian mode is. A Dorian mode, first of all, is a minor scale. How do we know that it's a minor scale? We know it's a minor scale because it has a minor third. That means a tone to a semitone, or it could be a semitone to a tone too, like in the Phrygian mode. But so the melodic the Dorian mode. I was thinking melodic minor for some reason. The Dorian mode has a minor third, and that minor third is what defines a minor scale. And so you can take well, since I had melodic minor in my head for some reason, you could take a D major scale, and you can change that to a melodic minor by lowering the third, and that's all. So the only difference between a D major and a D melodic minor is just the flat three. That's it. It's the flat three that will create a minor sound, and nothing else. It's quite a bright minor. Now, but back to Dorian. That's where we are right now. The Dorian mode is a minor mode. So there I've got my one, my two, my flat three that makes it a minor mode, and then a four, and then a five. So the four and the five are really important because we have a chord built on each of the degrees of the scale, but the really important ones are the one, the four, and the five. So we call the Dorian mode a tonal mode because we have a one chord, D minor, and we have a four chord, built on the G, right? Which happens to be G major because of the raised six, which we're coming to, and then the five chord is going to be A minor. So a 1 4 5 chord progression in D Dorian would be like. The most common and most defining characteristic, harmonically speaking, is between those chords is the minor one chord going to the four major. Okay. And there's some of that that's captured in these two opening chords, and so what, right? And or more like this, right? So really, it's like a 1/4 kind of idea. Okay, so now back to linearly, we have 1 2 flat 3 4 5, right, and then we have the major 6. That major 6 is where we get that major 4 chord from. And it also gives us a very gives the Dorian mode a very light and bright feeling for a minor mode. It unlike for instance the Aeolian mode, the natural minor, which has a flat 6, right? It's quite a bit darker, isn't it? But the Dorian mode, right? Very strong characteristic in that raised 6th degree. So we have a 1, a 2, a flat 3, making it minor, a 4 and a 5, making it a tonal mode. Not all modes have a fourth and a fifth degree that line up with a major scale, for instance. So we have 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, and then the raised 6, and then flat 7, similar to a Mixolydian mode, flat 7, sounding like this. Right. So flat 7. Okay, and then finally we have the root again, right? So it's a septatonic scale, 7-note scale. Okay, there we go. So that's the melodic palette that we've got. Those are the colors that we're using in this tune. So what, so melodically speaking, that's what's happening. Now, let's maybe take a look at another tune here. How about this one, Impressions? So Impressions John Coltrane wrote this tune. Wes Montgomery does an absolutely killer version of it in around 1965, and used to play it pretty regularly. As a matter of fact, there's this one video showing him playing in a club somewhere down in the States, and he introduces the tune as "So What," and then proceeds to play Impressions. they're quite closely related. Impressions is also in D Dorian. Check out the tune for yourself. So we have. Yeah, that's it, right? And I'll do it again. So again, we have, if I play the Dorian, right? Same idea, right? You can hear the colors are the same. The idea is the same too. We have 8 measures at the beginning, and doubled up, making it 16 measures, and then we have the exactly the same line going up a semitone, right? So we go from, and then we go up a semitone, and so on. So same idea, same vibe. It was a very cool thing to do during that period. It leaves a whole ton of opportunity for improvisation. But the really important thing to learn is the improvisations were very, very locked into the mode and capturing the sound of that mode, the texture, the color of that mode. It wasn't just an opportunity to play a whole bunch of like chromatic notes and weird related scales and stuff. Listen to some of the recordings of that period, and you'll see that they were very true to the sound of that mode. Let's just go back to so what. So if we now just analyze what we have melodically speaking. So what we have there, remember that what we're trying to do is define the mode as quickly as possible. So I think it's really neat that it starts with that perfect fifth, right? And that perfect fifth tells us that there's the tonal center. That's what the ear is going, the listener's ear is going to link up with. They're going to relate everything that they hear from that point forward to that tonal center. And so that will be the foundation, not only of this melody, but the foundation of the listener's memory as well, right? So we have right off the bat, we have the fifth telling us this is the key center. And then we're going to the major six, that characteristic sound in Dorian, right? That light major six sound, not like the Aeolian mode, which is sort of dark. So we have, and then to the flat seven, right, and also very characteristic color tone for that key. And then up to the 9, right? Root, and then to the ninth, which is also very colorful. Nine's color, lots of color. The 6 color, the flat 7 color, the root, and the 5th, the foundation on which we build those colors, right? So all of this is thought out very carefully, and it sort of helps to remember that Miles Davis had a straight degree in composition from Juilliard. He knew what he was doing. And there's always so much to learn in a tune like this, rather than just play the line as quickly as you can. There's so much more to learn here. Now, as far as fretboard mechanics goes, you may take it up to you may consider taking it up. Up to the 10th fret too. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there we go. And now because of those chords being built the way they are, right, in stacked fours, you can play that just with a bar over the middle four strings. Right. Yeah, it gets a little high up there, but I think I think it's cool up there, and it's always good to break these things down into different regions of the fretboard, and that's as far as the fretboard mechanics part of it goes. I mean, just you can those are probably the two most comfortable regions that make sense for playing this line. All right. I think that's about it. So the important thing is to grab the sound of the scale, grab the sound of the mode, and make sure that you can hear that. Right. So that sounds like Dorian to me. And if you approach that as, oh, it's just a C major scale except you start on D, you'll never grab the rest of it. I mean, because each of those notes has their own weight, has their own importance. You cannot just look at a mode as like through some screen of relativity. Don't do that. Get a relationship happening with that mode. Be able to hear that mode. Be able to understand what makes that mode what it is, why it sounds the way it does. I'm sure that you're very familiar with the sound of a major scale. Now it's time to translate the knowing how what a major scale sounds like. If you can sing a major scale, you should be able to sing a Dorian mode, right? All right, so that's that. And if this was a help to you in understanding the melodic content of So What, and just modes generally speaking, but specifically the Dorian today, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to know what they are. Thanks a lot.